Welcome everybody. This is for the sign of Cancer. Today is February 8th, 2024. So from February going into March. I pulled some cards. It's a pre-read for you guys, and I'm going to pack everything back up and pull out the cards for you again. And I was just waiting again for my phone to charge so I could do the video. And so I opened up the Bible to a page 2, and I'll let you know what it opened to. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that, because I do have the read for you in front of you, and then we're going to do a fresh read as well. So some of what came up in my meditation for you guys, what I just recently did was I was seeing like a mailman sitting on break on the wall, and he was asleep with his mouth wide open, and the term catching flies was coming up. That's all they were showing me, but his mouth was round like a target, and it was like pulsating, like multiple circles pulsating. So however you take that. And I was also getting, the first time I started meditating earlier for you guys, I was getting the energy of Adam and Eve, which will come up in the cards here. And I rolled the die for you as well. We received the number 3, which is the Empress, which is also Taurus energy here. The coming together. The symbol for Aquarius comes up here, the water bearer, and of course we just went into Pluto and Aquarius, so there's significant energies there. And we have Mars here too, with Aries, which is in the North Node right now. But also Aries represents the Emperor, and we have the 3 of the Empress over here, with the energy of Aquarius and the water bearer in the middle. And as I was looking at the die here, I wasn't just noticing the top, I was noticing this panel that's looking at me, because we basically have the 1 and the 2 of the masculine and the feminine, the 69 of Cancer's symbol, which is also referencing the 2 peas in the pod, the 698 pod. And then we have the Venus symbol of the feminine here, very feminine energies down the row right here. And again, with Adam and Eve, the home was coming up for Cancer, which is very fitting. So just going to tell you what page I opened up to in this little free Bible that I had received. It opened to page 258, to the very first page of Romans chapter 1, which is the epistle of Paul the apostle to the Romans, and it was titled God's Judgment. So you can take a look at that chapter if you'd like. But it's interesting too, because Italians came up earlier today. And I want to get right into this read on the table so we can reshuffle and start your fresh read as well. Very interesting what was coming up though. All right. So this is the SIRIAN Starseed deck. This is the Fortunes Oracle down here. And then I have the other 2 decks, which I'm also going to be using in your read for clarifiers, the Rider-Waite Mini, and then the Messages of Love Oracle cards we'll pull at the end. So in pulling these cards, and this underlying energy here of the SIRIAN Starseed deck was very interesting, because we have the Emperor, and now the flames are really going right now. I thought those flames were going out, and now they're putting out more smoke. Trying to stay alive over there, staying alive, staying alive. So we have the Emperor over here, and then the 9 of Pentacles right next to it, which was interesting because I pulled some cards from the Rider-Waite deck, and the Emperor and the 9 of Pentacles again were right next to each other. There's this energy of passing the torch, perhaps to a child. Someone might be retiring and stepping down. Their child may be taking over, or perhaps to gain their own independence. This could be an independent partner or child, but this is destined, and there's that sign of the atom again. So what came up in this underlying energy first was the Ace of Pentacles with the 9 of Cups, the Shadow, which is the Devil, the 7 of Wands, and the 2 of Swords. The stone-breaking plant of self-happiness through the shadow of darkness and rising above that into your knowingness. As the King of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles, finding balance in the 6 of Pentacles, through connecting with the central sun to reach the One, the Ace of Cups, the Holy Grail, God's rail, on the other rock, and yet that rock being of the same stone beneath the water. Ascension to wholeness, and the King of Cups of unconditional love, and the Six of Wands to lead the way through the violet light within the Christ consciousness, discarding Father's false hand and using reason, discernment to avoid, and notice the void, the dark, and see the light. As the Nine of Pentacles, wise sovereign's destiny of atom or at home. So at home with ease, the King of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles, through ascending consciousness of the Holy One, with Pisces King of Cups coming up here, and through leadership using discernment, wise and sovereign in their destiny, between Aries North Node and Libra South Node, you'll find your balance. Which was interesting too, because when I pulled those Rider-Waite cards separately from this, again, the top card was Justice, which is Libra, the South Node, and the bottom of the deck was these four cards coming up from the Emperor, which is the Aries of the North Node, and there's the Emperor and the Nine of Pentacles together again, along with the Eight of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So here we have the clash between the Emperor Aries and Justice Libra, and Libra's coming up as being in a just place of forgiveness, apology, of those who may not have the tools to fend for themselves. And then this other energy of the Emperor pulling in perhaps the wrong kind of energy, or perhaps taking a lot of risk here. There could be a PI hired as well. But in going on with the cards here, the first card out was the Ten of Wands here. And this is where you can see where I have, this is the Ten of Wands, which is the Atlas energy. But here they only have one flame lit, and the 9 flames have gone out. That's the wounded warrior and the victim mentality being left behind. But you see this Atlas energy of I'm still carrying that weight of the world, of the flames that have gone out, and carrying that last one flame to the light, where there's somebody else holding space and light for them at the top. Are they climbing the lighthouse here? Or are they coming up from the basement? So as the Ten of Wands Atlas ascends out of darkness, carrying only one flame, leaving 9 flames burned out, carrying the weight of the world, of those uninspired, carried to the light at the top of the tower, the beacon of light, the 7 of Pentacles of the E tower. So here you notice the E tower, the Merlin at the top. I call it the E tower. This is Rapunzel's tower, the divine feminine's heart, as the masculine sits outside trying to put the crystal puzzle pieces together or crack the codes on how to get into this tower. So the E tower, and the masculine arranging the pieces to unlock her door to her temple, which the letter E, the capital E, means temple, where then the A and the E of Adam and Eve come together here, where if she is the E, she is the temple, and when that temple is upright, it's the E, but if it then lies back down, becomes the W, which is then the Merlin. She lays down, exposing herself, allows him to cover her with his A, to house her, protect her. The Knight of Wands with a slow burn of royalty, of indigo and gold, to lead the 5 of Wands group, the fanning waves, the waves of flames, the 5 of Wands, 31 at 12:31, and the Tifo energy of the lighters in the crowd, in the audience, between the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Cups hanging out. And he can very much be referenced as the savior. The Knight of Wands is the one who comes and runs in to save the day. But here he's become royalty. He's learned to slow his burn and deal with the fiery crown, so to speak, of getting through the conflicts here to the Queen of Cups over here, who's basking in emotions in order to hang out and deal with the block in the right knee and the crucifixion energies coming up here between Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and the home. So the home is coming up And I'm going to show you a picture, a representation of that in a minute. Okay. So we have the name atom. It wasn't coming up as atom, it was coming up as atom, just like the picture here, the atom. So atom is A-T and O-M, at-ome, at home. And then the Eve is E-V and also V-E, where E-V is home and even the royal house. And then V-E, and remember the capital letter E is not just temple, but it means one, equal, and congruent to. And then the VE means holy place of offering, the egg, the now moment, the pain of birthing. The V, the temple of creation, the holy place of offering and deliverance, to at-ome, to atom. When the house of the feminine, Ev or Eve, then becomes a home with at-ome. But notice that omega is also the feminine energy of the crown of Om and ego, which is the feminine ego. The home of the feminine ego is the crown. And what comes up with atom is the housing here. So we have the capital E, which you see here. Let me just move the light out of the way so it won't reflect. So we have the capital E here, which is the temple, which is also the one, equal and congruent to. Okay, so that line becomes the I of the I am, and then the three lines across, equal and congruent to. When she lay down and exposes her underbelly, the E, it becomes this W here, where the I am presence grounds her. And then we have 111, which represents co-creation. 1V1 or parenthesis, 1 parenthesis, they all mean the same thing of co-creation. And when you put those together, it becomes the pi symbol and co-creation, the Merlin, which is the top of the building, to hide behind, sharing a space grounded by the I am presence, where the I also, when it falls down, becomes the H of the home. It becomes the home. So here we have the I am presence grounding the feminine as the Merlin, and then the masculine comes in with the A to cover her, literally, and protect her and house her. His legs then here become eaves, the eaves of the roof. Okay? So his legs become eaves. She becomes the grounding mechanism for the A of Adam. So then we have the four letters of the I and H of the I am falling over into the H of the human and the home. And then the A and the E, which is the ash energy of the bright light and of Adam and Eve, of course. So I was looking up to see if there were any words that are spelled with just those four letters, H, I, A, and E. And the only words that were just those four letters were H-A-I-E, which means hedge, line, row, hurdle, or fence. And then with the two dots over the I is to hate, and hare, the hunt, pursuit, or persecution. And then H-E-I-A came up as the aha, come now, to cheer, or again that tifo energy of giving support, cheerleading. And the father, to clear things up. And again, that came up with the grounding mechanism of the I am. And then H-E-I-A came up as bed, sleep, and Betty Bye, very much coming from a child's perspective. So all about the home here and the masculine and the feminine. And the energy of how the masculine and feminine work together, right? As the protector and then the one who inspires and nurtures and becomes his feet. His feet become eaves. She becomes the grounding mechanism. So it's very cool the way that was coming up. I wanted to note too that something else that came up here was the birthday of the United States in 2026 will be the 250-year mark. So that's coming up as significant. So in the Fortune's Oracle then here is the energy of the underlying energy of the plane. And this is very much like Fantasy Island, le plane, taking off to something beautiful. But after, in the underlying energies, the first card I started from was the number 15, which is the key. 15 is also the devil, the skeleton key, so to speak, but also Capricorn here. And then it went into the cards 13 and 31, which reflect each other of death and life. And here of goals and thorns, death and life, control and chaos, and the transition through the crown of thorns between the goal of gold and the central sun. The energetic exchange of the 34 of unity consciousness and hand fasting in the heart with the Atlas world map of intent, the wake-up call of the marriage, number 20, of the 28 snake, taking off to other planes of existence as the 26, which is the Page of Wands, to Fantasy Island. The first card coming out here, these three cards actually, is the 4 first of birth and rebirth. And then the 27 of the proposal, the 12 of the fool. The 4 is the lambda, the L1, the lambda or lamb to father leap. And Vesica Pisces, link of rings. The Queen's Gambit, the flame. The seed planted long ago, the finger of God in the baby's chakra system. And 2 rings, bound. The first split of the ovoid of light. The splitting of the twin flames is just like the energy of extra, extra virgin olive oil. It's the very first parting from the ovoid of light. And then extra came up as the X and tra, which is 3, or times 3, but also means the beam, the earth, the soil, the path, and the forest. Through the fire break, between, among, through sexual intercourse, to investigate, examine, inspect, entirely, very, and quite. Times 3, X-ray beam. X marks the spot of earth, the inner and outer paths through the fire break, for thorough examination, both physical and etheric. The Emperor's flame proposal to the fool with an open heart to hang out with and pinky swear, linked in to be best friends forever and ever. With the 24 and the 29 and the 21 then comes up patience, star, and the moon. The Queen of Wands, which is Omega, number 24, and the gift from the stars, the world and the moon. As he is the spine and the hips, and the fire to leap through this, attached at the hip, atom and omega. She is the hourglass, number 8, and patience with delivery of exchange. She with his heart and he with hers, and taking turns dancing back and forth and up and down, linked in and perpetually grounding through the sands of time. Gifts from the stars you are, as escorts of the daughter moon for Mother Earth. As Father Central beams in a triad within the winter Sirius triangle, as Procyon points out the head of the snake. So when I got these 3 cards for you guys, excuse me, this card always takes me to an energy of escorting the moon. And for me, the moon comes up as the daughter moon. The sun's rays is the sun, the central sun, the father, and then the earth being the mother. As the feminine energy becomes free from the mother, she becomes the daughter moon, originally being the core of the earth, right? As the mother earth is pregnant with the daughter, and then she becomes the moon when she's independent. And this card always comes up as the 2 stars escorting the moon. But today, when I was getting this energy, they took me to the winter triangle. And when I looked up the pictures of the winter triangle, because I wanted to see what the other star was on the other side, because one of the pictures came up with Hydra, and they literally circled the head of the snake. So literally this circle was the picture. I wonder if I have it here. Hold on one second. I don't know if I have it on this one. Let me see if it's on this one. Yeah, so sorry. This one has a cracked screen, but you can see what I'm talking about. So here's the winter triangle. right here. I don't know if you can see it with all the cracks in my screen. But here's the circle, the head of Hydra, and I wanted to see what this star over here, which is Regulus, which is also the spring triangle over here. So it's literally the circle of the snake's head of Hydra between the two triangles of the winter triangle and the spring triangle. So that was a very significant energy coming up for this. So literally in this picture, Procyon was pointing out the head of the snake of Hydra, and the main star in Hydra is Alphard. And then on the other side, the star that would be then escorting along with Procyon, escorting the head of the snake of Hydra, was Regulus, which is in Leo. So we have this energy of the moon card here, referencing the snake's head of Hydra being escorted by Regulus and Procyon over here, each with their own triangles, this one over here and this one over here. And the energy of Regulus being very interesting in the constellation of the Lion. It has an egg shape to it because, and it's at the position of the Lion's heart in the constellation. It's considered the harbinger of spring in the northern hemisphere, but it's not just one star, it's quadruple stars, 2 pairs, and represents the sickle and the backwards question mark, and is part of the spring triangle. And it is the 21st in order of brightest stars in the sky. So then there's this energy of occulting, because why is the moon coming up here? Or why is the snake's head coming up between Procyon and Regulus? And so the last planet to occult Regulus was Venus, July 7th, 59, and won't happen again until October 1st, 2044. But every month the moon passes near Regulus. Some years the moon occults Regulus. Now from earthsky.org, a series of 20 lunar occultations of Regulus are coming up from July 2025 to 12/2026. And in 12/2026, Mars and Jupiter will be nearby. They actually form a conjunction in November of 26. Regulus spins every 16 hours so fast that it causes a bulge at its equator, so it appears oblate or egg-shaped. If it went a little bit faster per earthsky.org, it would actually fly apart. Regulus' spin is similar to Altair and Alcanar. Regulus A and B are the first pair. The B is the orange dwarf star, and Regulus B has its own companion, Regulus C, which is a red dwarf star. So B and C are gravitationally bound to each other and they're called Regulus BC. Now there is a fourth star, which I didn't see a name for that fourth star. It's not actually seen except by spectroscopic analysis of Regulus A. It's believed to be a closely orbiting white dwarf star. Now Regulus D has been discovered to not even be a part of the Leo constellation right there. It's actually another star. It's actually not part of Regulus. So Regulus comes from the word rex in Latin, which means little king. It's also called Kalb al-Assad, which means heart of the lion, and also Cor Leonis, which is the lion's heart. So a lot coming up about Regulus. So if you know any, I'm not schooled in all the planetary aspecting and alignments. So if you know anything about that, I would love it if you would comment below if there is anything significant going on with either Regulus or the two triangles, the winter triangle and the spring triangle. So In 2024, so August 14th, 24, there is a Mars-Jupiter conjunction, but the moon is in Sagittarius at that time. And there is a, let's see here. In 2026, November 14th, 2026 is when Jupiter and Mars conjunct, but also they're right by Regulus at that time on the 14th, 15th of November. And in 12/12/26, Venus and Mars conjunct. There's something significant about those conjunctions coming up at the end of 26. So I have to look a little bit more into that, see if anything comes up. And I'm led to this stuff. I didn't look it up on purpose, so there's something about it that's significant here. But remember, Hydra came up, and Hydra is also one of Pluto's, it's Pluto's most outer moon, and that's been coming up in the news as well, as the chaotically tumbling moon. Okay, so let's collapse all this and start from scratch and see where we go for Cancer today. But there's very much this energy of creating a home and a family as a significant bond here. So let's see where we're going with this. There's that one flame is still lit there. I don't know if you can see it because of the wax, but something's still going in there. Actually, two flames are still lit. All right, this is for the sign of Cancer, for the best and highest good of all those concerned. As we are in February through the beginning of March here. Tomorrow is the new moon, and the 10th we go into the dragon year. So very significant shifts right here, as we already had a huge shift of Pluto, which I definitely felt that. I actually got sick for the first time in 8 years after the shift into Aquarius. And I felt completely different after I was sick. I feel completely different right now. So we'll see where things go from here. The sign of Cancer. Sign of Cancer, for the best and highest good of all those concerned. February 2024 going into March for the sign of Cancer. Cancer. All right, first card out for you guys. The Six of Cups. How perfect for Cancer. So here's that perfect innocent love of the children, of the soulmates, of fond memories of your own childhood, of your past life connections, but this wonderful innocence of love. And this is the central card for your read. And I would consider this a Cancer energy for sure. The challenge for you, Cancer, is the Two of Crystals, or the Two of Pentacles, which normally is about the juggling person, right? Dealing with patterns and the daily grind, or literally juggling different things in your life. But in this deck, it's much more about surrendering to all that is, right? Having a choice between this crystal and allowing the universe to decide. And it looks like there's a big etheric or auric whale there in the background, a pink one. There's a lot of compassion that comes up in this card. So this is a challenge for you, right? Letting go, allowing the universe to decide. And it looks like the challenge is making a decision, allowing I even want to say the whale energy is coming up to make the decision from the depths of the ocean, even from Lemuria. And here we have the land and the sea, right? Where land meets sea, meets the sky, meets the I am presence. So that's all wrapped up into this card. By the way, orange was coming up for you guys too, which is why I have some orange on. But the foundation here for you is the Three of Cups, which is all about joy and coming together about celebration and all about the heart. And this is just, you know, this is beautiful energy right here. Also, children's parties could be coming up for you as well. That was coming up in the other decks as well. Oh yeah, in my animal deck, the energy of the dolphin was coming up. So there's Lemuria coming up again. And then the star, which is like, this is the child whose party it is. And then everyone's coming to see the lamb, right? They're all coming from far and wide to bring gifts to the lamb. So there may be a children's party coming up for you. But what's in the recent past here is reflection, which is the Hermit here, shedding light. And it looks like they're at the bottom of the steps, perhaps at the back door of a castle or a lighthouse. And just, you know, taking a moment of reflection. Perhaps, you know, a parent or a wise guardian here over the children or the soulmates or the innocent ones. This is also the energy of Virgo. And of course, lots of Cancer energy here. But challenged by surrendering to all that is. What's crowning for you is the Five of Swords, which is the war within. And in this deck, very much about the frog trying to stretch and grow to become the prince. But they're juggling 3 orbs and saving 2 for later, right? Having a backup plan as opposed to being sure of what you're doing in the now moment. And this would be trying to prepare ahead for the worst case scenario, which is causing conflict within. Because you have, in the now moment, you have all this beautiful energy, right? Why would you want a backup plan here? Are you not having faith in all that is? And again, there's this contrast between these two kind of juggling. This one's juggling the 3 with the 2 down here, and this one's picking up the 2 and making them manifest here into reality. What's coming up here for you, Cancer, is the moon. As I'm still looking at the moon from the other deck, it's at the bottom here, okay? So here we have this energy of the moon and the stars. And we're sliding into the new moon tomorrow, literally. So we're literally here, exactly. As we have the new moon tomorrow in Aquarius, which could represent the conflict that Aquarius is bringing in, because it's going to pull in that new shift of Pluto into Aquarius as well, right? This new moon plus the shift of Pluto into Aquarius. And yet this is Cancer energy, your energy, with all this loving Cancer energy over here as well. Is there romance coming up with this new moon? We have Cancer and Virgo. And that can represent the 2 who are in the center of your read. You're seeing yourself as the Page of Flames or Wands here, the Seeker of Flames. And in this card, it's referencing, you know, the child having power over the female over here. She's given up her flame, and he's using it for his own purposes here. And he's masked. He's hiding behind his mask. So it's kind of an interesting depiction. And obviously it has to do with energies like Sekhmet and godlike energies here. But also this reminds me of Pinocchio, because he looks very wooden. He doesn't look like a real live boy. And she's trying to give him a flame to become a real live boy. So what's around you, or how others might see you, is the 7 of Swords or orbs here, which in this deck is about passing downloads. Passing information, they're orbs, thoughts and words. And also can represent, you know, the Wizard of Oz at the end of the story, right? He's going out to the community instead of staying behind the curtain. So this could represent the shift of Pluto and this new moon here, taking us out into the community, so to speak. And there are people talking about it as well. So this is how you're seeing yourself. This is how others might be seeing you, or this could literally be others around you, trying to get the word down to her, like they're in a hurry. And they're watching what they're doing. The block here for you is the Lovers. The rainbow of Puff the Magic Dragon here, as the dragon comes in on the 10th. This beautiful, affectionate energy of the Lovers, which Lovers can represent family and community as well. We have these beautiful energies of surrendering to all that is, and the Lovers going up in a puff of magic smoke. And yet, this is your challenge, and this is your block. And I was just getting block parties too. I don't know what that reference is for you. And there's this contrast of the innocence of the children and the maturity of the Lovers here, and the romance between them. And here we have the Hermit, right? The old wise one over here, in contrast to both of them. So what comes up at the end is the Ten of Pentacles, and this can represent heaven on earth. We do have a redhead here. We have a lot of crystals in this picture, and there's the peacock, you know, the child's birthday party here. But there's a whole lot of abundance here. It's the Ten of Pentacles. Whether it's family, community, whether it's business, whether it's heaven on earth, it is here for you. If we get out of this war within here. So let's see, what else is coming up here? Wow. I pulled a few extra cards for the end. So let's see where that takes you here. Yeah, okay. So let's see what's at the bottom of the deck now. We have the Four of Wands at the bottom of the deck, which is union energy, the home, which I told you was coming up for you already. And then we have Justice, which is Libra energy. We have the King of Wands. We have the Five of Cups, perhaps hiding in the wood or getting over some kind of disappointment or loss. And then here's the Cancer card of Chariot, which can also represent Sagittarius. And there's Sagittarius as well with alchemy, so they're definitely present. So you have Sagittarius, and again, here's this energy of separation or coming back together, right? Healing the heart, healing the separation, healing the disappointment, apologizing, forgiving. And then here we have all this fire energy. Okay. We have the pit of the stomach, so to speak, of alchemy here, right? That churning, that melding in the pot to become something else. And then the ascension of the Chariot here, coming in strong, and there's very much Hindu energy here. And then hiding in the woods, right? With the Three Cups that have been poured out and the two in front of you that you can't even look at. Perhaps because somebody was juggling these three and saving these two for later. And perhaps this one's feeling like they'll never see those two. They've been here all along. So what would make them change and go to their backup plan? Kind of energy there. So we have the King of Wands here, the shaman, with the sun at his back, very Leo energy. And then the Justice card of blind justice with Libra, and then the Four of Wands of the castle, right? Where a man's home is his castle. But it's very grounded shaman energy here. Not using the eyes, but using the feelings, the knowingness. And we have, again, Sagittarius and Cancer and Libra and the underlying energy. So I didn't pull from my Fortune's Oracle here. So let's give you some general energies that we're working with. So it's the really beautiful, beautiful, home-loving, innocent, pure energies here of romance. And we don't have the Two of Cups, we have the Six of Cups and the Lovers here. And this abundance of family or legacy here, of business, of the community. And then we have this energy of you seeing yourself as the Page of Wands, and we have the King of Wands in the underlying energy. So are you dealing with a parent? Are you dealing with your adult self versus your child self? And what is the general energies here for Cancer today for the best and highest good of all who's concerned? And there's the Phoenix, and there's the Dragon coming in on the 10th. And we have the number 25, which is that Knight of Wands that I pointed out in the first cards. And you have the Dragonfly. Look at that. So perhaps two perspectives of the same energy. And the Moon ended up on the bottom of the deck again. So there you have the escorting of the Moon, the escorting of the snake's head, which notice this is the Dragon year coming in on the 10th, which leads into the snake year next year. So this is a very significant couple of years here. And here we have the Dragon literally rising here from the ashes as the Phoenix, and then the Dragonfly over here, two as one hearts and a beautiful mind. The Phoenix says be prepared to be renewed after a period of crisis. And the Dragonfly says have confidence during this time of great joy, renewal, and connection to spirit. So whatever you've been through, right, be prepared for a renewal, or perhaps to feel completely different. And it is referencing the coming in of the Dragon year here. So very significant and profound. And we have the Moon again here and here, which is your energies. And we have the Chariot and the underlying energies. So it's very positive for you. A lot of your energy here. But you're also coming in with fire here. Like I said, this can represent a child's party. Perhaps a child's party, if the child isn't a Cancer, perhaps that child's party brings out the child in you. Or maybe are you spoiling them, you know, wanting to bend down and cater to whatever they want. So we have Cancer, Sagittarius, Leo definitely coming up in the underlying energies with Libra. We have Virgo, Cancer, and then Gemini as well. Okay, let's see how this all plays out. The Four of Wands. Four of Wands in the underlying energy as all the bottom of the deck just fell on the table. As we have the Knight of Cups coming in with love, kindness, to the Empress reversed. You may be having a hard time. Is she ill? Is she ungrounded? Did she just have a baby? And then we have the Death card as well. And the Queen of Pentacles reversed with the Strength card. And then there's the Page of Cups on the other side. All right. So this could even be two children, right, wanting to do something special for the mother. Or some people who are having a hard time. There could have been a death that they're still healing from. And they're trying to be strong for the kids. Right? So the kids are coming in to help, to give love, whoever this may be. We have Taurus reversed, we have Scorpio reversed, we have Earth energy of the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and then we have Leo upright, which can represent a pet as well. And this could be, you know, the kids bringing the pet to try to cheer somebody up. That could be a mother and their daughter trying to heal from something. This can be at a home as well, right? An old age home perhaps. And again, here we have the Knight of Cups and the Page of Cups, which is exactly what's represented here. And for a Cancer person, right, their home and children are everything to them. And this was all on the bottom of the deck. I'm not going to go through all of these because a lot of cards. But there's the Moon again, right? There's some kind of stuckness here, perhaps resting, maybe on bed rest there. There may be some pain or a breakup that happened. They need to walk away from something. So why is the Hermit there in the recent past? Why is the Hermit there? So there we have walking away again into that good night, so to speak. And they're both Cups energies here. So you have the 8 Cups here, right? Leaving behind the 8 Cups, all that emotion that you put into something to find what's missing. But first you have to dump out the 7 cups here, right? Get rid of stuff, dump out emotional attachments that no longer serve, deal with the disillusionment, right? That the dreams aren't actually coming, or seeing synchronicities, finding the one, and then letting all the rest go to go after that one. Okay? So this is someone who's perhaps taking some time to hermit, to dump emotional attachments that don't serve them anymore, take a walk, perhaps go up the mountains, maybe have a second home where someone's going to go to be alone. And then it's interesting too, because the next 3 cards are all people. So leaving behind the Queen of Wands, the King of Swords reversed, and the King of Pentacles reversed. And I don't know if she wants to deal with these 2 over here. And the Cups energy could reference adult children as well. And then we have the Tower. So some kind of sudden event here, right? Is this walking away something sudden that happened? So then all of a sudden the Queen of Wands here is stuck with the King of Swords reversed and the King of Pentacles reversed. And are they her brothers? Are they her partners? Are they 2 men that she needs to take care of at the facility? Or is there some kind of big fight that explodes between the 2 men here out of nowhere? The foundation here is the 3 of Cups. And there's the 7 of Swords. And the 7 of Swords was at the bottom of the deck of the other Rider-Waite deck that I pulled from just for a random card. So there's this energy of taking a risk here. Perhaps worried that you might pull in the wrong kind of energy. Remember, this is a liar, cheater, thief card. Is someone running away? Is someone sneaking around? Is someone stealing somebody's words or ideas or intellectual property? Did someone hire a PI who's bringing information to this get-together here? Somebody may be running from the full moon here, right? Those who want to howl at the full moon. Maybe this person running away is the hermit over here, not wanting to experience this 3D energy of howling at the moon, right? Of partying here. Would rather be by themselves, perhaps. This could be somebody going home, because the home will be empty, so you think. Or is this where the party's going on and then going up the mountains or to the other house to be alone? And we have the new moon. This is full moon energy here when it's upright. But this represents more of the new moon, because we literally have the tides coming down to a standstill. And I'm getting the rising tides though. Right, as soon as we go through the new moon, the tides start rising again, but I'm getting this energy of this rainbow smoke. Like gone or up in a puff of smoke. Oh, look, and this is a hot air balloon. Something goes wrong with the hot air balloon and it goes up in a puff of smoke. Right, because there's fire inside the balloon. And I don't usually see this, and this is really lovers, but I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like an eye. This looks like an eye. It's actually 2 heads of the lovers, but it looks like an eye. And when I was seeing it right here, it looks like an eye of concern. Oh, that's so weird, because the other piece right here reminds me of, I put a picture on Instagram last week or the week before when it got really cold. All of the snow had melted finally. And I looked up on my chimney and there was literally a 6-inch statue of ice. And there's no other ice or snow on the roof. Everything had melted. And yet here is a statue of ice that was like 6 inches tall. And it looks just like what's this nub sticking up here. So there's some kind of party at the home, obviously, here. But someone might not be doing well, or when you have the kids' party, maybe you have to take care of grandma because she's not doing well. Right? Maybe somebody has an injury or an illness and they need to be taken care of at the party. Maybe usually they help and they can't because they have an injury or something like that. But there's somebody here who's trying to get away from all of this. They don't want to deal with the energy of a party. And that can represent, so we have the new moon tomorrow. So around the 24th or 25th of February will be the full moon again. So I don't know if your party's around that time. But someone might be feeling it at the time, so they want to get out of there. This also could be a romance. Maybe somebody doesn't want to run into somebody at this party. Or doesn't want to run into Cancer. This could be someone stealing at night as well. Stealing away at night. Stealing the energy of the howling at the full moon here. It's like going to a party, taking it and running away with the energy that they gather at this party. Really weird. The central energy is the Six of Cups of injustice here. Perhaps in a losing battle or ending conflict here, some kind of fight between these two guys. Defenseless to the energies, or they have no excuse for behaving that way, especially if this is a children's party. And then here's this energy of powerlessness to it. And that could be a dependent child as well. And these both were coming up in the other deck as well. Remember I said the Libra versus Aries, North and South Node energies. And then the Emperor next to the Nine of Pentacles, which is reversed here. Right? Maybe, remember the torch was supposed to be passed down to a child perhaps? You know, if someone's stepping down, retiring, maybe their child or a younger partner is taking over for them. But now they're coming up as dependent here, or powerless to a situation that popped up that they didn't expect. The need to end a conflict, right? So here's the Five of Swords. We have all this fighting energy, but they're both reversed. So did it get out of control? Or were you able to end the conflict here? And if you ended the conflict, why are these two cards still coming up? The injustice of a brawl. I mean, it literally could have been a brawl that broke out here. And dependents being defenseless to this. Or maybe we never saw this side of this partnership, and now they don't want to get into it. The challenge being the Two of Pentacles. And the Hierophant, some kind of commitment here. Is this a contract? Is it a marriage? Is it a religion? Societal norms, the all boys club here. Who's the boss here? And here we have the Queen of Swords dictating from a place of this. From the place of power, of control, of what society says is right. But it may not be fair, it might not be just, even though it's what the law is, that the law is not always correct, which is why we have 10 million amendments, because the law doesn't always fit the situation. And here's the Queen of Swords speaking about stress, sleeplessness, the nightmare, about suffering in silence, about pain, of slaving away, of doing more than their fair share of work. Maybe this is the energy of the slave driver over here. And then they're carrying 10 already, and then the straw that breaks the camel's back comes in. Coming from this beautiful energy of completion and wholeness and authenticity, except if they accept this now, it's going to break their back, right? So they're already loaded up. There's no space to receive anymore. Or is this someone acting all happy to offer them something else when, like, what are you, crazy lady? Can you see me? You think I can take on something else? And how to surrender to all that is. when it feels like an impossible situation. The Five of Swords. Here we have the King of Cups reversed and the Page of Pentacles reversed. So this could, you know, they're two very different personalities. This could be a student who needs help with their homework and a parent who doesn't want to help them. They may be very detached emotionally, right? Maybe they're not patient with children. Are they depressed? Are they a drinker? Do they have conditions of their love, whether they're going to help or not? Right? There's this struggle between these two. Is this someone in their own inner child that's very different than what they've been taught to do as an adult? And there's definitely depression, or at least arrogance here. The need to heal, the need to dream. And we have the Five of Swords reversed here, right? Ending the war within. There may be new information that came in. This could have been, like I said, a PI, a private investigator, getting some kind of information about what all this howling was going on, about the neighbors, or about this fight that broke out, or about some kind of romance. But perhaps researching that information and getting some new information, but then it knocks you off balance here into a depression, and going to see the Hermit to shed light on the situation. And there's snow on the ground here. So this is the Hermit over here. After having taken a break or walked away or been up the mountains, or having dumped a lot of emotions here, they've let go of all these attachments already, the Hermit in the home. And now here's the Hermit over here, shedding light on these other ones who are maybe now struggling or going through something similar to what they already went through, and able to help them end this conflict before having to go through the whole same thing that they went through. The Moon here is some kind of sadness or disappointment here, perhaps regret regarding the ending of an emotional cycle here that's way overdue to be done, or an unhappy family and there's no fixing this here. Are they sad because of an emotional loss or attachment? Or are they sad because they couldn't please these people, no matter what they did? It looks like there's a breakup here. So either displeasing the family, or literally a breakup here. And now dealing with this situation from the new moon to the full moon energies here. Why are you the Page of Wands? And we have the Knight of Swords reversed with the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Things not going your way. Is somebody holding their tongue or lashing out and causing delays here, or causing things to not turn in their favor? Right? Is this somebody yelling at kids at a party here? Did someone, quit and run? Did somebody get hurt playing baseball in the yard? All right, stealing home base kind of energy here. And then leading the way here. How did you come out of all of this on top? How did this one come out of this on top? Like, how did they get leverage over her? Right, this one's now in the lead with fans and followers and bringing good news to the Page of Swords. And that could be someone who's not talking, not answering, right? Lying and spying. Maybe they're all over the place. Maybe they have ADHD. But there's two kids again over here. It's very different. There's Knight of Cups and Page of Cups, very sweet and loving over here. And here we have the Knight of Swords and Page of Swords, you know, the opposite energy of kids, right? Where they're either being verbally abusive or difficult or mouthing off, lying, right? And it's like this one, it's like this energy here is this kid. So how do they get in this place of prominence? How did they rise above these two other ones who are either holding their tongues and not speaking their truth, or lashing out, or, you know, just spewing? There's this definite energy of this Cancer energy rising above the crowd, right? When the other kids are doing something they're not supposed to be doing. There could be something that came out too that kids had done in the past, or even, you know how when you're an adult kid and you get together with your siblings and you start talking about stuff from your past, and then just bring up childish stuff that you did back then that nobody ever knew about, but now you bring it up and it's 7:17 on the clock. Well, whatever somebody brings up may not be a big deal in the whole scheme of things, but it might uncover something that somebody else didn't know about, which then opens a whole new can of worms. That message could be coming up. And what's around here, around you, or how other people see you, or the energies around you, is that Seven of Swords. And there's the Page of Wands right here, connecting one to one. And here's the swords, right? The 7 swords over here, and the 7 swords. It's like they collected all this information, these downloads. And here we have the King of Wands reversed. And here's the Page, seeing eye to eye with the King of Wands reversed, but he's not hearing it. He's not having it. So like here's this, the Page of Wands is giving all this information out here to help get on the same page with the King of Wands, but he's got his back turned to him. He doesn't like what he's doing. And here's the King of Wands. And there's injustice here. He's being arrogant, the King of Wands. Okay, this is arrogance. Either he's being arrogant or he's exhausted, but he's also very happy with himself and doesn't feel like he needs to make an excuse here. But there's some, I mean, this is a soulmate connection. But this King of Wands has turned his back on the Page of Wands after seeing what they're doing here. Or someone gets caught in the act. I hope this isn't a child getting caught in a sexual act. It could be. The block here is the Lovers. And there's the Knight of Wands rushing in to save the day. Remember, I told you that that can represent the Savior who felt like they had no choice but to rush in and help. With the Six of Cups reversed, before something bad, really bad happened. And we have the Lovers reversed here and the Six of Cups reversed. And the Patient Angel here. There could have been some kind of falling out with somebody who was being very patient. Maybe being too patient, too kind with the kids, letting them walk all over them. Or perhaps having had a fallout with a patient in the past, and then felt like they had no options but to rush in and save the day. This could be someone going in on call. But this has to do with a lack of affection or breakup here. And we have Gemini and Cancer right here. And all part of this Ten of Pentacles family here. Being present in the moment, and again, gifts and a party. And then there's the Magician reversed, not having all the tools, not prepared. Didn't have everything that you were supposed to have, didn't show up. Or someone promised they had the tools to deal with something, but then they didn't. Or this is some kind of manipulation. Was a gift a bad idea? Did somebody get hurt because of it? The energy of the wounded warrior surrendering. Remember that the Ten of Wands is taking the one wand and leaving this Nine of Wands behind. And the 10 wands that's that Atlas energy that right there. Carrying the weight of the world and having another straw being offered, which would break the camel's back. Unless you leave the wounded warrior behind here. And surrender to all that is, which is your challenge. And here is with the Emperor reversed. And both the Emperor and the Empress are both reversed. Are they fighting? Are they not doing well? Were they left with the kids and then they couldn't handle it? A lack of peace here with the babysitting. Is this the aide, the nurse, the psychic, the secret keeper? Promise you won't tell. So let's see what else came out here. It's really, the main story is between the King of Wands and the Page of Wands. And are you the Page of Wands? Or are you the woman? You could be the Queen of Wands here too in this story here, because we got the King and the Page. But it looks like the Page and the Queen of Wands are both in this card. And all three of them, well, the King's reversed, but the Queen is upright, and so is the Page of Wands here. Here's the King reversed. And the Knight of Wands is upright too. That could be a sibling involved. Someone did something they weren't supposed to be doing. Or they were doing something they just didn't want certain people to know about, which then they get caught. And is it sexual? Because there's a very sexual energy in this card. And we have the Lovers over here. And instead of going into fear about it, the challenge may be to just surrender to whatever happens. Right? With this falling out in the past, is this the past returning to you? Is this a bad childhood that's coming up to be dealt with? Right? Someone who may have abused you as a child? Is this a past bad memories, past life memories coming up? And the need to surrender to all that is? The block here isn't the Lovers, it's the Lovers reversed. The block is the lack of love, the lack of a partner, the lack of affection here. And not wanting to surrender to all that is, if that means no love, no family, no affection. And then here we have the Ten of Pentacles. So after the Ten of Pentacles, I pulled a few more cards and we had the Ten of Cups. And if these two are upright, this is the ultimate family, right? Ultimate emotional fulfillment, the ultimate attainment of material possessions, or just abundance, whatever makes you happy here, right? That would literally be heaven on earth right there. And we have the Tower, which is over here with the two kings who are reversed over there. Remember, the King of Cups is reversed too. And has the King of Swords come out yet? Yeah. The king, who's the other king? The King of Wands, all right? So all four kings are reversed. That says something. You have the Emperor and all four kings reversed. As far as the queens, the Empress is reversed. We know that the Queen of Wands is upright and the Queen of Swords is upright. I don't think the Queen of Cups came out yet, but the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress are reversed. So let's see where this is going. So we have the sudden events here, perhaps getting knocked off the wall. Did somebody get hurt? Was there a fire? I told you with the balloon, there might have been a fire. Something might have caught fire because they didn't know. Actually, my brothers did something like that under the boat when we were little. They were playing with matches and started a fire. So it could be something like that, or somebody fell off the wall literally. Or there could be lightning that strikes. Right? Because this Five of Swords here could also represent a storm. And then we have karma, which also could be a wake-up call here. But we also have the lotus here of enlightenment. And literally we have lightning striking, you know, across the sky, hands across the water, heads across the sky. And I'm getting this representing too the shift from Capricorn into Aquarius. Even though Aquarius is air, not water, it's also the water bearer. And then we have the Tower here, which can represent epiphany or sudden change. And sexual energy here. Karmic energy between two families, between two communities. And giving it a rest. Where's that Four of Swords? This could be going to the beach to take that break. Whoever walked away over there, they missed all the good stuff here. And then we have the higher self, which is that babysitter that was coming up over here. Is she over there? So again, when someone's sleeping, was someone reading when they were babysitting? When someone was supposed to be sleeping, maybe they weren't sleeping. Something happened, but it looks like a big family event. Or a feud between two families that kind of explodes here between these two men, but all of the men are reversed. But it looks like a family party or a kid's party. Why is the Ten of Cups here? Well, the Four of Swords is upright here. This can be taking a rest, a break, laying something to rest, 5D connection, meditation, prayer, the need to heed the call, the need to swallow your pride, right? The need to make calls that you haven't made, but somebody might be praying before they do that. A painful ending pain, getting a massage here. But this also can release something big for someone if it is a massage. You know, this could be like a spa too. Some kind of sudden event. Not having the tools to handle this gift of surrendering all your wounds. And then the need to swallow your pride in order to end the pain. Why is the Tower here? We have the Eight of Wands reversed and the Ten of Pentacles is reversed here. And this has to do with not telling. Someone didn't tell, causing delays, causing constant arguing or bickering amongst the family, the business, the community, or about where the money went, or what happened that's now going to cost them a lot of money to fix. Somebody might have to pay for somebody's pain and suffering. Some kind of awakening or shock here, right? This karmic shock between these two families here of inequity. of a scam, perhaps, with the Queen of Cups reversed. So that leaves only the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands are the only two of the kings and queens that are, and the Emperor and Empress that are upright. Everybody else is reversed. Some kind of shock regarding not sharing with the Queen of Wands, not telling the Queen of Cups, who may be Cancer. That could be you. And there's the truth. And there's Cancer and Capricorn. And this one's coming in strong to make sure the truth is known to this person, which could be a Capricorn, or to this codependency or addiction here, this temptation. And this is like someone talking to their own temptation. You're not going to get me this time. Oops. The devil fell away. That might be a good thing. It also could be Cancer telling Capricorn the truth. Regarding, again, it could be babysitting, because we have the Four of Swords with the higher self here. And overwhelmed, not being able to handle something, unstable house, situation, visit, party. The party's over, right? This could have been a breakup at a party as well. And issues at work as well. This could be work and home in one kind of thing, both having issues here. In a breakup. This could be a sudden breakup, which isn't just a breakup of the two, because all of the families are attached to this connection. So this could be a huge breakup, because when these two break up, there's a big breakup of work and home. There's a release, perhaps implementing a plan or some kind of investment coming out of the E-Tower. Again, someone being released from the hospital. So somebody could have gotten hurt for sure. And did they get hurt at work? Or did they get hurt at home, which is a part of work? Did they get hurt at a party? A family party? But it definitely looks like two either got hurt and got discharged from the hospital with an injury or some kind of illness here, or perhaps getting kicked out. That could have been someone who got fired as well. And there's the Four of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles here, which for me in the SIRIAN Starseed deck is the Divine Feminine in the E-Tower and the Divine Masculine in the Bat Cave, both coming out together. That's interesting. Whether they're exposing everything, are they dealing with kids on vacation? Did somebody fall? Did somebody do something foolish or stupid? When somebody was at work and not paying attention, right, to what the kids were doing, right? Boredom here. Or grounding and integrating everything that's happened. Maybe they took the fall for a child, maybe an adult, a parent took the fall, or somebody took a fall for somebody else, so they wouldn't get in trouble. And then here is this big offer of a new cycle here, a new life perhaps, of time, money, and energy to get something going, a partnership, to perform together, right? To get balanced again while in separation, disappointment, heartbreak, after putting money, time, and effort into this, and then being disappointed or going into separation. We have Three of Swords and then Three of Cups. And then a block here of someone unable to function or stubborn, getting in the way of a good thing perhaps, right? Making something difficult into something good, and then someone else blocking the way. Right? That could be someone who's stubborn, who's disabled, who refuses to work, or refuses to move on, right? There could have been a separation and then a coming together of somebody else, And then this person refusing to leave. Very interesting. So I'm kind of curious to see what happens with this new moon for you and the dragon coming in, because obviously your read has to do with the dragon coming in. And overall, it looks like it should be something positive. But we have the Ten of Pentacles reversed. Where was the Ten of Cups? Here it is. So both families are reversed over here. So do you have some kind of family feud here? And that can represent, you know, the wife's family, the husband's family. This can represent the immediate family, the extended family, however it might play out for you. But there's some kind of sudden event here with these two kings. And remember, all the kings are reversed. And the Emperor, and the Empress, and the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups. It's kind of mayhem. And did something get set on fire by accident, or because of kids, you know, and not having proper guidance? All right, so we have the intuition. You already know the answer that you seek. You can be completely open with this person and vulnerable. The underlying energy is interference and external parties intruding in on this relationship. Working less will help strengthen your relationship, so unplug. And again, it looks like somebody was already unplugging and walking away from a situation before it even started. And accepting, again, surrendering to all that is. Everything happens for a reason. And firm boundaries are needed now. And it's time to make a decision about this relationship. Okay, so there's an external party. So is the decision you need to make about this external party intruding on this relationship, or about your actual relationship? And lean on your inner circle during this time. This was the underlying energy. But what's coming up for you now is that you already know the answer that you seek. And you can be completely open and vulnerable with this person. But you need to work less to strengthen the relationship. So maybe someone's been overworking and something careless happened, and now it's a wake-up call to pay more attention to their family or relationship. Everything happens, though, for a reason, and firm boundaries are needed now. It's time to decide about this relationship. Very interesting. I am going to pull a Journey of Love card for you. I don't see a death or anything like that. That's kind of crazy. I mean, these are all reversed. The Lovers and the Six of Cups were reversed. This was not reversed. The party in itself, this was reversed. So that could have been a visit or a move and a coming together, a gathering. But again, there could have been some kind of falling out or a return from the past. It could be a breakup. Like I said, some kind of accident could have happened at a kid's party, that kind of thing. And now both of the big families here are upset. A sudden event. Right? Somebody made a bad call or needs to swallow their pride now. And take a break, take a rest. Or again, dealing with a babysitter, but this higher self is upright. The Journey of Love for Cancer, the sign of Cancer, February to March 2024. The breaking, and there's the King of Pentacles. This card wanted to come up too, and they look very much alike in colors. So fire and ice, isn't that interesting? The King of Pentacles and the King of Cups. And the communal dance. The bottom of the deck is Hidden Beauty, which is 45. That's that grieving energy, sadness, disappointment, the 45. And I'm going to read to you what this one says, if I can find my book here. Here we go. Okay, number 65. I haven't read from here in a while. The breaking. You're breaking apart. You might not understand it at all. There's not so much to be understood, but the simplicity doesn't mean it's easy to endure. You may worry that you're going too far, that you may not recover or ever come back together again. But what can you do? Can you hold back from the divine love that calls you, that lures you to becoming all that you are, to remembering your divine nature? Well, you could try, but for what purpose? Temporary rest before the storm at best. So take the rest if you need it, and then dive into the storm. Let yourself be brokenhearted by the divine so that you can become your truth, become all that you're meant to be. It's better to have the heart broken so that it grows than to be brokenhearted by thinking that you must protect yourself from love. This oracle brings compassionate guidance that no matter what sadness or anger, despair or frustration that you may feel, you're being pulled apart not by dark forces, but by the loving embrace of the divine, as it strips you of that which would keep you from your divine realization. Let go and break. It's going to be the making of you. And the poem at the end is love. Love is a special closeness that sings from the heart, that warms my days and nights, that feels good, that makes me smile and makes me glad to be alive. Well, there you go, Cancer. Remember to drink your water, get your rest, your joy, your nature, and I'll see you next time. Have a great February. Bye.